Bureaucracy breakdown. Countries where paperwork will crush your American dream. Picture it. You're finally doing it. You've quit the soul-crushing corporate job, sold the oversized SUV, and bought a one-way ticket. Your destination? Maybe a charming apartment in Paris with a view of the Eiffel Tower, ready for mornings filled with croissants and café au lait. Or perhaps it's a rustic farmhouse in Tuscany, Italy, surrounded by rolling hills, vineyards, and the promise of la dolce vita, the sweet life. You imagine leisurely strolls through ancient streets, amazing food, rich history, vibrant culture, a slower pace, a life with more meaning, more beauty. It's the classic American dream of escaping the rat race for European enchantment. Hold that beautiful image in your mind. Now, imagine slamming face first into an invisible, soul-sucking wall made entirely of paper. Stacks and stacks of forms you don't understand. Demanding documents you didn't know existed, requiring stamps you can only buy at a specific tobacco shop that closed 10 minutes ago. Imagine endless queues in stuffy government offices, contradictory advice from bored-looking officials, cryptic websites that crash constantly, and waiting. Oh, the waiting. Waiting for appointments, waiting for approvals, waiting for a little plastic card that holds the key to your entire existence there. Welcome, my friends, to the bureaucracy breakdown. For countless Americans dreaming of a new life in supposed European havens like Pau, France, and Jeanne, Italy. The biggest, most underestimated, and potentially dream-crushing obstacle isn't the language barrier, the culture shock, or even finding a job. It's the relentless, often nonsensical, always exhausting bureaucracy. It's a slow, grinding process that can take your romantic European dream and pummel it into dust with the sheer weight of its paperwork, inefficiency, and maddening inconsistency. If you're not prepared for this fight, the paperwork will win, and your dream will die a slow death by 1,000 paper cuts. Let's be clear. This isn't just about filling out a few extra forms compared to moving stateside. This is a whole different level of administrative entanglement, often rooted in centuries of tradition, complex legal codes, and sometimes what feels like a deliberate attempt to make things as difficult as possible, especially for foreigners. Your first taste usually comes before you even leave the U.S., applying for the long-stay visa. Whether it's the VLSTS visa for France or a specific type of elective residency or work visa for Italy, you'll quickly discover the joys of gathering an extensive list of documents. Proof of income, often substantial. Proof of accommodation abroad. How can you have that before you move? Proof of health insurance meeting specific requirements. FBI background checks. Birth certificates, sometimes needing an official apostille stamp, certified translations. The list goes on. You'll spend weeks, maybe months, chasing these papers, paying fees, scheduling appointments at consulates, and hoping you've ticked every single box perfectly, because one small error can mean starting all over again. And that's just the easy part. The real bureaucratic gauntlet begins after you land. France. Logic. Meet. Paperasse. Paperwork. Ah, France. Land of liberty, equality, fraternity, and paperasse. A wonderful French word for burdensome paperwork. You arrive with your precious long-stay visa, VLSTS. Congratulations. Now the clock starts ticking. You typically have 3 months to validate this visa online with the OFII. French Office of Immigration and Integration. This involves paying a fee, possibly attending a medical exam, where they might just check your height and weight, maybe signing an integration contract, and perhaps attending some civic classes. Sounds straightforward? Sometimes. Sometimes the website crashes. Sometimes the appointments for the medical exam are weeks or months away. You get a confirmation, eventually, maybe. But the real test of your sanity is dealing with the prefecture, the main local administrative office, for your carte de séjour, residency permit. Applying for the first one after your initial visa validation, or heaven forbid, renewing it. The appointment lottery. First, you need an appointment. Good luck. Often, appointment slots are released online at specific ungodly hours and disappear within seconds. You might spend weeks frantically refreshing the prefecture website, feeling like you're trying to score tickets to a Taylor Swift concert only for bureaucrats. Sometimes the only way is to physically queue up outside the prefecture hours before it opens, hoping to get a slot or some information. The sacred dossier. Once you miraculously get an appointment, maybe months in the future, you need to assemble your dossier, your file of documents. The list of required documents is long, specific, and must be followed to the absolute letter. You'll need originals and multiple copies of everything: passport, visa, birth certificate, translated, apostilled, proof of address, a recent utility bill, tricky if you just arrived, proof of income, proof of health insurance, specific passport-sized photos. Miss one document, have one copy slightly wrong, or have a utility bill older than 3 months. Rejected. Come back when you have everything perfect. Start the appointment lottery again. The catch-22s. The system seems built on catch-22s. Need proof of address to open a bank account, but need a French bank account's RIB, bank account identity slip, to sign a lease to get proof of address? Need your residency permit to get your permanent health insurance card, carte vitale, but sometimes need proof of health insurance registration to renew your residency permit? It's enough to make your head spin. The French logic. You'll encounter rules applied with rigid adherence, even when they make no logical sense in your situation. You'll get conflicting information from different officials at the same office, and sometimes when faced with a problem the system can't handle, you'll get that classic Gallic shrug, a gesture that conveys, "That's just how it is, not my problem," better than any words could. Every important communication requires sending a registered letter with proof of receipt. Lettre recommandée avec accusé de réception, adding another layer of cost and complexity. Trying to rent an apartment often requires its own insane dossier, proving you earn at least 3 times the rent and possibly needing a French citizen to act as a guarantor, garant. Setting up utilities, phone plans, internet, everything seems to require more paperwork, more waiting, and more potential frustration than seems humanly possible. Italy. The art of waiting and the power of the stamp. Bureaucracy. If France is a labyrinth of logical but rigid rules, Italy is a masterclass in slow-motion bureaucracy where time feels elastic and the right stamp, marca da bollo, is king. Your dream of la dolce vita will quickly confront the reality of Italian bureaucracy. The permesso di soggiorno. Pilgrimage. You've got your Italian visa from the U.S. consulate. You land in, say, Florence, ready for Renaissance art and gelato. Your absolute first priority, within 8 working days, is to start the process for your permesso di soggiorno, permit to stay. This usually involves going to a designated post office, ufficio postale, to pick up the infamous kit postale, a large envelope containing a bewildering array of forms. You wrestle with the Italian instructions, attach copies of everything: passport, visa, proof of funds, insurance, buy a specific marca da bollo, tax stamp, available at tobacco shops, tabaccherie, pay the fees, and submit the kit back at the post office. The questura, waiting game. Submitting the kit gets you a receipt, ricevuta. Guard this with your life. It proves you're legal while you wait. And wait. And wait for your appointment at the questura, provincial police headquarters. This appointment could be weeks, months, or even close to a year away, depending on how busy your local questura is. During this limbo period, your ability to travel outside the Schengen area might be restricted. The questura appointment, Part 2. Eventually, You get your summons. You go to the questura, likely wait for hours in a crowded room, get fingerprinted, and hand over your documents again. They might ask for additional papers not mentioned anywhere previously. They might be perfectly pleasant, or they might seem completely indifferent. Then, you wait again. Months. Sometimes many, many months, just for the physical permit card to be ready. Renewing this permit involves repeating a similar, soul-crushing process every year or two. Essential codes and registrations. You'll need a codus fiscal, tax identification number for almost everything. Opening a bank account, signing a lease, getting a phone plan. Getting this usually involves a trip to the Agenzia delle Entrate, tax office. You also need to register your official residency, iscrizione anagrafica, at your local town hall, comune. This requires your permesso application receipt, proof of address, lease agreement, your codus fiscal, and might even trigger a visit from the local police, vigili urbani, to physically verify you live where you claim to live. Each step often depends on completing the one before it, creating potential bottlenecks. The Italian pace. Things often move at a glacial pace. Offices may have limited opening hours, close for long lunches, or shut down entirely for local holidays you didn't know existed. Rules can be interpreted differently depending on the region, the town, the specific official you talk to, or maybe even the phase of the moon. Sometimes, having a local connection, conoscenza, who knows someone can magically speed things up, highlighting a system that doesn't always run purely on merit or efficiency. Certified translations are often required, and everything seems to need multiple official stamps. Common nightmares. Why it crushes the dream. Whether you're battling the French prefecture or the Italian questura, certain themes of bureaucratic despair emerge. The endless waiting. Months turn into years waiting for permits, appointments, or decisions. Your life feels perpetually on hold. The document. Hydra. For every document you provide, they seem to ask for 2 more. Originals, copies, certified translations, apostilles. The paper chase never ends. The black hole of information. Official websites are often outdated, unclear, or only in the local language. Getting consistent, reliable information is a major challenge. Different officials tell you different things. The catch-22 vortex. The constant loop of needing document A to get permit B, but needing permit B to get document A. It feels designed to make you give up. The language barrier. Amplification. Trying to understand complex legal forms or argue your case with a stressed official in a language you're still learning adds layers of anxiety and potential for error. The cost. It's not just the official fees, it's the cost of translations, photos, registered mail, travel to appointments, and sometimes hiring lawyers or fixers, commercialista in Italy, various agents in France, just to navigate the system. Money you'd rather spend enjoying your new life. The emotional drain. Constant uncertainty, frustration, feeling powerless against an impersonal system, the fear of deportation for a minor error. It takes a massive emotional toll. It can strain relationships, impact your mental health, and make you seriously question why you ever thought moving was a good idea. That beautiful dream starts to feel like a bureaucratic prison. Surviving the breakdown. Tips from the trenches. So, is the dream dead? Not necessarily, but it requires recalibration. Millions of foreigners, including Americans, do successfully navigate these systems. But it takes patience of a saint. No, really. You need monk-like levels of patience. Things will not happen on your American timeline. Accept it. Extreme organization. Keep meticulous records of everything. Every form submitted, every receipt, every appointment letter. Make multiple copies. Scan everything. Back up everything. Persistence. Polite persistence. Don't give up easily, but losing your temper rarely helps. Learn key phrases in the local language for politeness and inquiry. Research, research, research. Use official government websites, even if confusing, but supplement with reputable expat forums. Read critically, info can be outdated, and talk to people who have recently gone through the same process in your specific region. Lowered expectations. Assume everything will take longer and be more complicated than you think. Professional help, sometimes necessary. If you're hitting a wall, especially with business setups or complex residency issues, investing in an experienced immigration lawyer or local consultant might save your sanity and your dream. A sense of humor, preferably dark. Sometimes all you can do is laugh at the absurdity of it all. Sharing war stories with fellow expats can be therapeutic. The dream of living a charming European life in France or Italy is powerful. The reality often involves facing a bureaucratic beast that seems designed to test your will to the absolute limit. It requires more than just wanderlust. It demands resilience, preparation, deep breaths, and understanding that the sweet life often comes with a hefty side order of incredibly frustrating paperwork. Forewarned is forearmed. Don't let the bureaucracy crush your dream, but be ready for the fight of your life to make it happen. Have you wrestled with the bureaucratic hydra in France, Italy, or another notoriously difficult country? What was your breaking point? Share your survival stories, tips, and maybe your most unbelievable "you won't believe this form they asked for" moment in the comments below. Let's help each other navigate the maze. If this dose of reality resonated, hit that like button, share it with anyone dreaming of escaping to Europe, and subscribe for more honest takes on the expat experience.